Hey y'all, so I came on to tell you, stop expecting people to be for you when they're not even for themselves. Here's what I mean. Ask yourself, which ways are you wanting these people to show up for you? Are these people showing up for themselves that way? In what ways are you wanting these people to show up for you? You just have to ask yourself, in what ways am I expecting my husband to show up for me? And then you got to ask yourself, is he showing up for himself that way? If he not, then that's a out of balance expectation. You can't really expect him to show up for you like that if he's not showing up for himself like that. What sense would that make? Same for you. If you just want to go on and check yourself, how in the world you think that you can show up for someone else in a certain type of way when you're not even showing up for yourself that way? You got to learn to be honest with yourself and be honest with the people around you. If you know you're not ready for something, try not to approach or try not to go toward it, because at the end of the day, it's going to be an epic fail. You're going to let yourself down and the people that's expecting you to show up a certain type of way down. So, again, I ask you, how can you expect somebody to show up for you when they can't even show up in that same aspect or energy for themselves? How can you expect someone to speak highly of you, but they don't speak highly of themselves? How can you expect someone to do anything like productive or positive on your behalf when they don't even do that for themselves? Like, be mindful of that. Like, energy is real. Like, if they not doing it for themselves, you cannot expect them to do it for you. And I'm telling you this because it'll save you a whole lot of heartache, a whole lot of heartache and a whole lot of pain and a whole lot of, confusion. Because for you to expect somebody to show up for you and they're not even showing up for themselves like that, that's called delusion. That is called delusion. Don't operate in the spirit of delusion, expecting someone to show up for you like they don't even show up for themselves. That's a hard pill to swallow, but I want you to go ahead and take a look at that and take it for what it's worth. When you see people being a stand-up person, speaking highly of themselves, walking upright, dressing a certain type of way, using a certain type of verbiage, carrying themselves, in the highest regard, speaking of others in the highest regard, always dropping nuggets of, maybe financial ways to be financially responsible, always sharing tips of how to create peace in your life or how to get to the next level in life. Those are the kind of people you kind of want to cling to. Those are the kind of people you want to cling to for the fact that you can, energy speaks. Whatever energy you operating in, that's the energy that speaks. That's the energy that leads conversations. That's the energy that they, bring from one place to another. Be very mindful of how energy show up. Again, I ask you to pay attention and to please don't expect for people to show up in a certain type of way if they're not showing. Don't expect people to show up a certain type of way for you if they're not showing up in that particular way for themselves. Now, again, more examples of people showing up. However people present themselves to you, whether it be a physical presentation, whether it be a verbal presentation, whether it be a financial presentation, whether it be a egotistical presentation, whether it be a faith-based presentation, whatever the presentation is that they are showing up as, just know that's the only energy that they can show up for you as. That's the only energy that they can show up for you as. So do not expect people to show up for you in a certain type of way if that's not the way they're showing up for themselves. And that's all I got. Love y'all, bye. I'll turn this off. And comment.